There's no turning back because these dusties are dusty. They just belong in a coffin. They just belong in a coffin.
I agree.
Ladies, I'm so happy that we love in white men because they are the most sweetest, wonderful men. And you know what's so sad? Our mothers should have left the black men a long time ago.
I feel safe now that the Dusties are in the gulags. When I look at the title, white men are better for black women.
We as black women take black men too seriously. Like no other group of people are taking like any threats that black men make seriously because they're not a threat. I guess to the ones that are in proximity to a lot of black men, but those of us that are divested or not even divested but leveled up and not even living in proximity to these people, we're not even like worried about the threats that they're making to us because we see the men who are actually in power and actually who actually have the resources to be an actual threat to the entirety of black people. But black men as a whole, they don't have the power to do that. All we gotta do is call the cops on you motherfuckers. I wish black women would stop saying defund the police because at this point we need to start using them to get rid of our problems at this point because they think that I think they think because they're men that like they can come over, but at this point I feel like black women are more protected because we are the ones that hold the money, the purse in this relationship, this fucked up relationship that we have with black men. So we just need to use our resources. That's all I wanted to say.
To be, especially black women, they tend to be way too relaxed around black guys. I don't know if it's like pick me spirit. I don't know if it's the validation, but like you feel way too comfortable. I'm the opposite. I'm actually very uncomfortable because in my experience from going to school to going to workplaces, there's always some BS going on when you see a bunch of black dudes around. Like, it's never smooth. Like, there's gonna be a fight that breaks out. There's always something. So you gotta always stay on high alert and ready so that you don't have to get ready. And I just really feel like we need to stop honestly blanketing everyone about, it's not all, we're just talking about the toxic ones. No, I'm sorry. There's a lot of toxic ones that went to school and have suits and have businesses, just like this guy said on the video. But look at his mindset. So a lot of these women, especially these men that like to come up here talking about, I'm good, black man, this, that, I don't give a fuck who it is. Until a man proves that he actually is good, assume the worst. Assume the worst. And that will put you in a mind frame where you are ready to defend yourself and ready for battle.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to open up by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and preach this truth in truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And this lesson is going to be entitled Response, Message from the Black Woman. Listen. And ultimately what you seen, I grabbed this short 3.5 minute video from the channel GMS Watchman 3. Pretty much what you heard was, pretty much the black woman voicing her true thoughts, her true opinion on a so-called black man. All right, talk about, a so-called black man needs to be put in coffins. At one point, it said that they wish black women would stop saying they need to defund the police. So, ultimately, this video is just concrete proof, all right? This audio recording is just concrete proof that ultimately, all right, Eve, all right, or the so-called black woman is a straight-up enemy, all right, of the Israelite men, especially the so-called black men, okay? Now, I want to open up with the book of Micah, Salakia, the book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse 10. It says, then she that is mine enemy, Salakia, it says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as a mire of the streets. And ultimately, once again, all right, the so-called black woman, the so-called Judite woman, all right, you know, a lot of women, you got women of the tribes too who follow in the same stead, but primarily the so-called Judite woman is our enemy. And guess what? You know, she's acting all right, proud, high and mighty. All right, she's an enemy to her man, saying she don't need a man. Eve is completely out of order. All right, but ultimately there's a judgment coming for that, man. You see, so women like these that you hear talking in that 3.5 minute clip. Okay, these are the type of women that are going to get catch judgment from the Lord, man. You know, and ultimately, at the end of the day, they're going to experience great misery and great sorrow due to their pride, man, due to their haughtiness, man. You know, let's grab this in the book of Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4, beginning of verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Now, when you go into that word mark, okay, the Hebrew word there is thawah, meaning what? All right, definition A, straight to the point. Mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. So ultimately those who have this mark, all right, which ultimately this mark begins with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Those who have this mark will also be exempt from the judgment that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is bringing upon the earth. Okay, they're going to be exempt from the plagues, and also they're going to be exempt from the nuclear destruction. Okay, but as far as so I don't know why it does this. It don't let me go back. Okay, so back in Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4, it says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, was ultimately as the men of the Lord, man, and the elect. Right? Verse 5, it says, and to the others, meaning those who don't have this mark, says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Verse 6, here's the point I wanted to get. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. What does that word maid mean? Well, let's look into it. The Hebrew word there is bathwala. Okay. It says virgin. Okay. Let's see. Bathwala is feminine passive participle of an unused root, meaning to separate a virgin from her privacy, sometimes by continuation. A bride, which also that's a woman. Okay. So yeah, ultimately a woman, man. So ultimately, at the end of the day, let's read that from the top again. Ezekiel 9 and 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women. These are ultimately, at the end of the day, what can we grab from this? The ultimately women, all right, Israelite women and women in general, all right, but especially Israelite women, will get caught up in the judgments and the plagues that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is bringing in these latter days, man. Okay, it says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, which those ancient men are going to, the leaders of Israel. All right, but also at the end of the day, ultimately, black women like this and women like this in general that we heard in this 3.5 minute clip, right? They would be examples of those without the mark, man. Also due to their pride, man, due to their rebelliousness, man. And guess what, man? They're going to catch judgment from Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. See, and you hear the way they talking now. All right, these gonna be the same women that when all hell break loose, right, they're gonna be crying for a man, looking for a man to hide them from evil, man, to protect them. But they ain't gonna get it. But you know what they are gonna get, man? Judgment. Okay? And also, what are some of the judgments that's gonna happen to these women in these latter days? Okay? Let's grab a couple scriptures. Let's grab this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished, man. Ultimately, a lot of women in these latter days, man, especially Israelite women, are going to be ravished, all right, brutally, man. All right, and if you don't know what ravish means, it's grape without the G. Okay, and also that's just one of many judgments. Okay, that's gonna come upon these women. Okay, these women they're gonna experience stuff like getting stabbed to death, man, getting shot up, all right, numerous times, right, getting their head cracked open with a bat. Just numerous forms of judgment that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is going to bring upon the earth in these latter days, which ultimately women will suffer. Okay. And let's grab this in the book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 2. It says, for I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So ultimately, in these last days, man, we understand that, you know, being ravished or being raped is a form of judgment that is going to fall upon women in these last days, man. And this is judgment that has been ordained, okay, by Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. And the reason why this is happening, this is going to happen to a lot of women, is why? Once again, because of their pride, because of their wickedness, man, because of their rebelliousness. So ultimately, therefore, the Lord is recompensing them according to their deeds, man. All right. The book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and beginning in verse 11, it says, the lofty looks of men shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. Right, so ultimately, men and women alike, men, are going to be humbled in these latter days, all right, by way of the judgments that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is bringing. Okay, and ultimately, at the end of the day, once again, the Lord alone will be exalted. Verse 12, for the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. So ultimately, what the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is getting ready to do, okay, through the various different judgments that he's sending upon the earth in these latter days, and also through that ultimate judgment being nuclear destruction, okay, the Lord is bringing a great humbling, all right, upon the earth, man, especially America. Okay. Let's see. Let's grab this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Right. So ultimately, once again, man and woman alike. But we dealing especially with the woman, because we listen to, you know, the tone of these black women. We listen to what the black woman had to say concerning the so-called black woman. Right. Excuse me, concerning the so-called black man, Salakia. Right. And ultimately, it was nothing but pride and hatred in that speech, man. Right. So ultimately, at the end of the day, the Lord is going to bring judgment upon all women with this kind of mindset. Right. These women are going to once again get ravished. Okay. Killed by the sword, man. Okay. The Lord is going to make them suffer famine. All right. The Lord is going to tear these, you know, wicked women apart with wild beasts. Just various different and numerous judgments that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is bringing upon the earth in these latter times. Why? Because most of the earth has walked in great pride. Okay. Now let's go back to Isaiah 13 verse 12, because once again, in these latter days, man, when women, all right, remember that they're women, Okay, they're going to seek a man for help, man. They're going to seek a man for shelter. All right, but ultimately, if you're not a woman whom the Lord Yahweh Bashmiashai has predestinated to be saved through an elect man, then guess what, man? You're not going to receive that shelter, man. You're not going to receive that protection. Okay? Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir. And ultimately, that's talking about the Israelite man. First and foremost, beginning with an elect man of Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. All right, because ultimately, you're going to have Israelite men, all right, who are going to be cut off and die, all right, in these last days, man, when the Lord brings judgment. All right, so ultimately, the man whose stocks are going to shoot up in that day, the man who's going to be more precious than fine gold in that day is an elect man of Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. Right, and that's going to be the type of man whom woman will seek, all right, to be with, man. But also, not every single woman is going to have the privilege of being with an elect man of Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. Right, a lot of women are going to be rejected in these last days, man. And also, they're going to have to suffer the judgment that Yahweh Bashmi Ashai has slated them to suffer, man. Like the scripture saying that Jeremiah 15 says, for the death to death, such as for the famine to the famine, such as for the captivity to the captivity, such as for the sword to the sword, so on and so forth, man. Okay, a lot of Israelite women are going to suffer judgment in these last days, right? Let's grab this in the book of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take, Salakia. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our approach. And ultimately, this is going to take place leading into the kingdom. Okay, because ultimately, hey, when all hell breaks loose, man, and a woman comes to the realization that the only way for them to be, all right, safe in that day is if they're with a man in Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. Guess what, man? Also, at the end of the day, hey, these women out here, they're going to be doing every and anything to get with a man in Yahweh Bashmi Ashai. They're going to be willing, all right, to be submissive. They're going to be willing to do anything, just like the scripture say in Psalms, the 110th chapter, I believe it is, where it says, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Because ultimately, everybody's going to be willing to get down with a get down. All right, women are going to want to fall back in order. All right, when all hell break loose, you see, and it's when all hell break loose, that's when Jake want to get right. Okay, but at the end of the day, we understand it's going to be too late for a lot of you Israelite women, man. You see. So once again, at the end of the day, man, hey, these women, hey, they proud now. All right, they quote unquote high and mighty right now. Hey, they quote unquote the shit right now, right? But wait till all hell break loose. You see, and they remember their woman. They remember they're frail. They remember they don't stand a chance against the man. Okay, they're going to seek a man of the Lord for protection, but they ain't going to get it, man. All right, if you're not an elect lady of Yahweh Bashmi Ashai, if you're not a woman whom the Lord has foreordained to be with the man of the Lord, all right, for salvation, then guess what, man? You're going to suffer whatever judgment Yahweh Bashmi Ashai is going to bring upon you, right? But also, once again, hey, man, these women, man, hey, they going to want to fall back in order when all hell break loose. All right, they going to want to seek a man for protection then, but right now, it's what, man ain't shit. I don't need no man. I'm a boss, bitch. This, that, and the third, man. That energy gonna fly right out the fucking window, man, in these last days. Okay? Isaiah 32:2. And the man shall be as in hiding place from the wind. Also, this is not just any man. This is a man of the Lord. Because ultimately, the men of the Lord are going to have that hedge of protection over them in these last days. Right? It says, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So ultimately, a man is going to be sought after for protection these last days by these women. Okay, and jumping down to verse 9. Okay, it says Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto speech. And also, hey, when you hear these women like this speak, man, hey, they're careless. All right, they have no concern, all right, of the men of their nation, right? They're proud, lofty in heart, okay? And also they're just straight up evil and wicked, man. You know? Verse 10, so ultimately, hey, the Lord is telling you, rise up at ease, man, because ultimately the days of trouble are near. As we go into verse 10, Slakia, it says, verse 10, many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Right? So ultimately, at the end of the day, through all the time, you had Big Daddy government helping you out, with various different benefits. All that is going to be stripped from you, right? Okay, then the realization is going to come once again that you will need to be with the man of Yahweh Bashmi Yashai in order to be safe. Okay, verse 11. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Because at the end of the day, man, these women are going to be going through complete hell, man. No daddy government's not going to be on their side. They won't have the benefits, and the treats that, they won't have the benefits, and the comforts that they once had once all hell breaks loose. Right? So ultimately, it will behoove you women to get in order and fall in line under the Israelite men. Okay? But I'm gonna close out right there. That'll be the end of the lesson. I pray that you were edified by this lesson, and I pray that you got something out of this. Without further ado, I would like to close out by giving all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and preach the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And Lord's God, see you in the next lesson.